topic I want to discuss is the 2021 IIHF World Championships. There's been a bit of discussion, bit of an update, bit of controversy regarding this event. Obviously, the 2020 World Championship, which Team Great Britain were supposed to be a part of, having kept in the competition at the end of the 2019 tournament, I should say. They obviously didn't have the event this year due to the current situation and the fact that it would be people from lots of different countries coming to one area and the way that could cause some problems. Now, Belarus is meant to be one of the hosts of this competition, and I don't know if you guys have been following the news recently. There's been a lot going on in Belarus, to say the least. Lots of riots, protests, political upheaval, voting fraud, potentially, corruption, everything that makes a really good, spy movie. James Bond would be perfect over there, Now, the interesting thing about this is the president of the International Ice Hockey Federation, René Fassel, I should say. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. I might have got it wrong. We're about an hour in. Who cares? René Fassel, he basically came out and said, we're not looking to move the location. We're not moving away from Belarus. We picked Belarus because it's a place that we think can host it. And they're co-hosting the competition with Latvia. Some people might think Belarus and Latvia, why have you chosen them? For context, Dinamo Riga comes from Latvia and they are playing in the KHL. They're not the best KHL team, but they are an okay KHL team. They're playing in the best competition in Europe and Asia. So, and I've got to say, from some of the live streams I've done when Dinamo Riga came and played Team Great Britain, some of the interactions I've had with Latvian hockey fans, they are a very dedicated bunch of hockey fans. I would give credit to the Latvian fans. They really do like their hockey teams. So there's been a lot of discussion and debate, and you can see that I've put up on the screen now a bit of an article up here that Latvia has supposedly, or it's rumoured that they're threatening to withdraw as co-hosts from the championships unless Belarus is replaced. Latvia has warned the International Ice Hockey Federation, supposedly according to this article by InsideTheGames.biz. Whether this is a reputable site, I'll leave you to decide. I've seen several other articles as I was finding one suggest the same, but take it with a pinch of salt if you want to. So they've warned the IIHF it will consider withdrawing as hosts of the 2021 Men's World Championships unless the governing body allows the country to jointly stage the tournament with a nation other than Belarus. The Prime Minister of Latvia has claimed that he cannot see how Latvia can co-host the event with Belarus in the current climate following widespread protests and violence after a controversial re-election as president. So René Fassel has come out and said that they're going to press ahead with their plans. It says it in this article. They're planning on keeping the ship level. They're planning on doing it exactly how they expected to. However, Latvia and perhaps some Latvian fans kind of have a bit of a different response to this. There's been no discussion, supposedly. This article was released yesterday. So as of the 17th of August, there's been no discussions over changing the venue. The IIHF had a conversation with Fassel. They did a news article on it, kind of a bit of a Q&A, and they said, look, we're not planning on moving it at all. Both the semi-finals and the gold medal match, and all the medal matches, are planned to be played in Minsk, in Belarus. Also, Dynamo Minsk play in the KHL also. So it's two nations that aren't necessarily the most well-known nations for hockey, but they both have a team in Europe's, for argument's sake, Europe's best competition. So, Chris, when you found out that Latvia may potentially pull out and that there's been some discussion on whether or not Belarus should still host it given their current political circumstances, obviously we're not a politics podcast, we're not going to go into the ins and outs of the politics of it, but what was your response to this, and do you think they should keep the World Championships in Belarus if things calm down by then? Do you think it would be smarter for the IIHF and the brand of international hockey if they moved it to somewhere a little bit, for want of a better term, safer? What are your thoughts?
As that they're trying to show that, it's particularly Latvia, that they're showing a stand, they want to show they're doing something.
Yeah.
I'm kind of conscious of the fact we're still 9 months away from when the championships would be.
True, yeah.
So there is a lot of time for stuff to calm down. Yes, they need to make a decision, I would say probably maybe end of this year because of people booking flights and hotels and the tickets going on sale and all the rest of it. And if you are going to move it, you've got to find another city with a decent rink and a big enough capacity and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think that they need to rush into making a decision right now. There's a long time before, I think anyway, a decision needs to be made. A lot of time for the situation in Belarus to calm down. I think that these kind of events, they would bring a lot of money into those cities. So I think Latvia would, they need to severely think about what the implications of pulling out would be, because you've got, all the fans coming in. Well, they're going to have to eat and they're going to have to get transport and, everything like that. So it is going to bring a lot of money into the local economy to host an event like this. You've got people from all around the world. You've got Canadian fans, American fans, everyone coming in. So it is a big decision to take. I think there is time until that decision needs to be made. So I would if I was the IIHF, I kind of think they've done the right thing. They said, right, look, for the moment, we're keeping it in Belarus. We see no reason at the moment to alter that. They may decide to later on. We don't yet know. But I think they're doing the right thing of just kind of letting events unfold and see just kind of what happens. If it does escalate and it just gets a whole lot worse, well, then you've got to have a discussion. But I think at the moment, just kind of sit back, just see how things go, and just let the events unfold.
Absolutely. And like you say, time is kind of on everybody's side at the moment. I think, like you mentioned, at the end of the year, Rene Fasel needs to look back at it and go, okay, we need to make a decision here, because not only for the teams taking part, the arenas need to be ready. They need to have a plan in place, especially if the current pandemic and the current situation is still part of society. They need to have plans in place. If it might not be as severe as it is now, they might have limited capacity. They might have to have all of the teams stay in certain hotels or kind of take certain precautions like the NHL have been doing. They might have to kind of keep all the teams in a bubble, essentially, and then have certain transport to and from the arena and things like that. So you never know. Obviously, there's lots of different factors that play into it. Add to the fact that Belarus is going through a huge kind of upheaval or political turmoil at the moment. That really doesn't help things. But like you mentioned, time is kind of on their side at the moment. So I think we'll have to see what happens. They've got plenty of time to figure things out. Hopefully they figure things out sooner rather than later.